Hello, so I'm Regina, and today I'm going to show you how to, excuse me, how to create your chip bag. This is a front cover and the back cover of it. How to create your candy bar wrapper. This is a Hershey's bar. It's a 1.55 ounce that you can buy out of the store at the registers. You know, they come with almond or just plain chocolate. So this is the plain chocolate Hershey bar. And this is a water bottle that we will create a label for and put around the water bottle. Okay, so to get started, and let me just move this stuff aside. So to get started with this, what you will need is either an inkjet or a laser jet printer, along with regular ink, okay, not sublimation. You will need to have quality paper. So I like to use the Hammermill premium copier paper. And I get this off of Amazon. I think I've seen it before though in Office Max, but again, I've ordered it off of Amazon. And with this paper, it's very slick like, and it's a premium feel. Okay, so it's a little different than your regular copier paper. It's a slick feel, has a little bit of a shine to it, but it does really, really well with printing your images on for these chip bags. Okay, so again, this is Hammermill premium copy paper, and it's the color version. Okay, and then you will need some type of sticker paper for your water bottle labels. And this is what I use. I purchased this from, I want to say it's Office Max. Also, you can get regular sticker paper from Walmart or Target. And what this paper is basically, you can get it by the, when you go into Walmart, you'll see like the address labels and you'll have the short versions or a whole sheet, right? And this is the whole sheet. So that's what I use for sticker paper, or like I said, you can really purchase sticker paper, but if you can't get that in time, just go and get some adhesive sticker paper. And like I say, so just your sticker paper, your copy paper, your candy bar, potato chips bag, and I use the small ones that are like the little Cheeto bags or Frito bags. They all come in a box together and they're a little snack size, and it's a 1.5, or excuse me, a 1 ounce bag. Now I have seen 2 ounce bags, and you may want to purchase those because it will fill up the bag a little bit more, but I just use the regular small snack size Cheeto or Dorito bag. And then of course you'll need your water bottle and scissors. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, and before I forget, you will need your either some glue or double-sided tape. I strongly recommend double-sided tape because it's a cleaner completed project with a double-sided tape versus using glue. Glue can be a little clunky when it dries. Sometimes it dries super hard. Also, sometimes it can bleed through on the paper, so then it looks not as professional, right? So I prefer to use the double-sided tape. It works very well. You can get that off of Amazon or your generic Michaels, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart. Everybody sells double-sided tape, so you can get that from there as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we are going to create our template from scratch using Microsoft Word. And the reason I'm teaching you this way is so you can get in the habit of creating your own templates instead of going out and purchasing a template from someone or going on Etsy, right, and spending money purchasing all these templates. Once you have your measurements down, you can create your own templates and bring in your images and things like that, and you're done, right? So let's get started. We're gonna go up to, I'm gonna use Microsoft Word. So let me open up my Word. hopefully you all have had a great day today. Okay, so here we are in Microsoft Word. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're gonna go ahead and change the layout of the paper. We're gonna make it landscape. So the first thing, we're gonna go up to layout. And I'm gonna try and minimize this some too, so I can see this area over here when it's time to do sizing. So I'm just gonna move this up here. Okay, so when we go to layout, we go to orientation and then change it to landscape. Okay, now the next thing we're gonna do is change our margins. So we're gonna click on margins and we're gonna create a custom setting. So if you go to custom margins, you're gonna make this 0.12, 0.12 for the bottom, for the top, for the left and the right. So the entire set of margins will all be 0.12. It'll tell you that some of them are out of the printable range. That is okay, so just ignore. Okay, so now we have our landscape here, right? So now what we're going to go ahead and do is build our template. We're going to insert rectangles to start building the template so that you can create your images within. So the very first thing we're going to do is go up to insert, shapes, and we're going to select from rectangles, this first one to the left. Okay, and let me just look at my measurements here. So for this one, we want to make it 8.5 in height and 2.75 in width. So as you can see, I'm over here, the top right corner, and you should be able to see my mouse moving. This is where I'm actually keying in my adjustments for the height and the width. So we want to do 2.75. Okay, so then I'm just going to pick it up and move it across the page because I want to make sure my entire page is covered. Okay. All right, the next thing you want to do is this box here for the layout options. Click there, make sure it is checked here for in front of text. Okay, so make sure that is selected. What we're also going to do, because you're going to end up copying this one over to the right side of the screen. So what I like to do is go ahead and get it ready, meaning put the color in, all that kind of stuff, so I don't have to backtrack. So we'll go ahead and at the very top here, you can see under mailings, right underneath it, it says shape fill. I'm going to change this to a burgundy color, well, like the most burgundy is of red, right? Because the chip bags I'm making is going to be red and black, and it may have a white strip around it from the border when it prints. So this is the very first thing that we will do. Okay, so now I'm just gonna copy this. So I'm gonna right click on it and select copy, and then select paste. Then I'm just gonna move this over to the right side of the document here. Okay, so all we've done is created our left side and our right side. And basically this is going to be the left back and the right back sides of the bag. The middle portion here is what we designed for the front side of the bag, the chip bag. Okay, so now we're gonna do the top and the bottom, which is the border, okay? So we're gonna go back up to insert, shapes, and rectangles. Okay, now I'm just gonna start drawing a little box again. I'm gonna come up to the top right corner here where I can edit the size. Okay, the height for this is going to be 1 inch. The width is going to be 11. So it takes it across the top of the page. And what we'll do as well, so we're gonna move this up. I'm gonna go ahead and change the color. And this will also be copied, right? So let me just take that out. Okay, so I'm just going to click on it, click off, click on it. Okay, so I want to make sure my text is in front of text. Okay, and I'm going to change the color as well to that very first. Well, no, I'm going to make this black. The top part will be black. okay? Because again, remember I said I want it red and black and it's gonna have a little bit of white on it. So I'm gonna click off and that's what it looks like right now. I'm gonna click back on it and I'm gonna right click on this and select copy. And then I'm gonna paste it because what I'm going to do is put that on the bottom. So now I have my top and my bottom. And I'm just getting everything lined up properly here, okay? Okay, then I'll click off. So now we have our frame. This is our top, our bottom, left and right back, and this white portion in the center is the middle of the bag. So what you'll want to do at this point before you go any further, this is your template. So we want to save this. So go ahead and do file, save as, browse where you want it to go. And this is under documents. I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call it templates. Okay. So I've opened up my templates folder, and now I'm going to call this master chip bag template. Okay, and save. So now we have our template bag, or excuse me, template for our chip bag. So now what we're going to do is design it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to fill in this white space. Okay, so I've already gone out to Google and I've downloaded a background image. I Googled red and black sparkle background, and one that came up that I liked, I really don't see any black in it. It's more so red and white sparkles, but I liked it. So I'm going to come up here to insert pictures and go from this device and go to my folder. And so I have folders already built that have like for chip bag or grab boxes, things like that from doing other projects. So I'm going to go into my folder and find the actual design that I think I have it in chips bag. Okay. And so it's this design is the one that I want to use. Okay. So when you open it, you see how it brings it in. So it hasn't completely filled in the white portion here. So I'm just going to drag it, and all it's doing is filling in the white portion. And then I click off. So again, I went to insert picture, and then found where my picture was, my background, clicked on it and brought it in, okay? Once I brought it in, I dragged it down across the page here so that it could fill the entire portion of the white space. So now I want to bring in, and I'm gonna bring these things in the order how I want to place them on the background. So first things first, I'm gonna bring in balloons. So I've already downloaded balloons. So again, I went out to Google. I wanted some black balloons. And so I Googled black balloons. Okay, then pictures came up and I copied the picture. I copied and saved it. What I also did is, and you'll see here when I go in to retrieve this, when you copy pictures, they will have like background stuff on it, right? So the background could either be all white, or it could be if you've taken a picture of someone, it has trees in it, cars in it, all kinds of stuff. Well, you can go to the website called Remove Background. It is remove, REMOVE, BG. So removebg.com. When you go there, you can upload your picture that you want to remove all the background image stuff out of. So it leaves you with nothing but the fresh picture of what you need, right? And so when you save it, you'll notice here, like on this picture, it says remove BG preview. So anytime you save it, you'll see this is my clean image where I've removed all the background stuff out of, okay? But for now, I'm looking for my balloons. So this is the original one. And you can see the white background here, right? So if I was to bring this in, I'll have the black balloons on top of white on top of red. I don't want that. I just want those black balloons on top of this red. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. And here you see where I've already removed the background. So it says remove BG preview. I'm going to select these and select insert. So when it does this, what you want to do is come up to the picture. So you'll click on it, select this little box for the layout options, come down to the bottom right corner and select in front of text. Okay, so then it brings your image back. Now you can size it. So I'm just gonna use the corner to bring it in a little bit and just drag it over to where I want it. So these are the back of the balloons, and you notice there's no white background because I removed that in remove BG.com. So I'm just gonna spread these out across the front part here. Okay. You can barely see it, but faintly there are some little strings that are hanging from the balloons. And I'm just going to drag it down just a tad bit. Okay. So now if I click off, I can look at it and see, okay, yeah, I like the way that this is positioned. So now I want to insert 3 more pictures of my daughter for graduation. And I also want to insert the logo of her school, so the college that she graduated from. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go back to insert pictures, this device. I have them in my folder. I've already removed backgrounds. So first thing first, I'm going to select this picture and bring this in. It's going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to click here, bring it to the front, and then resize just by dragging. Okay, now I'm going to bring it over here and kind of position it where I want it to go. And then I will make it a little taller, right? So it'll come up here, come down some. And I want to make sure that I'm not going over the edge. So I got it right there like so. So that's the very first picture. Now I'm going to bring in the second picture. So I would go back to insert pictures, this device, and find the second picture. The second one is of her. She was on a street, and the background was really nice. It had a lot of trees and cars and things like that, but I just wanted it clean for what I wanted to use it for. So again, I'm going to put this image in front of text. So now I can resize and bring it and place it where I want it to go. Okay, so I know I need to make it, I don't want it to go past that black line, right? The original black line there. So I also want both of these to kind of be about the same height. Okay, so I'll just bring this up some too. Now in the middle here is where I'm going to put her cap and gown picture, right? I want that to be centermost. So I'm going to go back to insert pictures, this device, find that cap and gown picture. And here it is. The same thing, bring it to the front, make it a little smaller, and then I'm just going to bring it down here. Okay. I click off of it so I can see how it's positioned and then start moving it around. Okay, so I'm going to make it come in just a bit so I'm not stabbing her in her eye on this one picture with her hat. So I'm going to place this right there. I think that's pretty good. I could thin it out a little bit so it's not covering too much of her face, right? From the other picture. Okay, so it's starting to look pretty good. Now, I still want to put her, I'm just gonna move this one over just a tad bit. I still want to put her, her school picture. Let me just move that out of the way so I can get back to this one. Just move that over just a tad bit. But I still want to bring in her college, right? Information. So what I'm going to do is go back to insert in pictures and find her college symbol here. And I have that under the grab box for some other things that I've worked on for her graduation items. Okay, so here is the one that says remove, preview. This is the one that I want to use. So I'm going to come down here again and bring that to the front. Okay, so don't be alarmed when it does that in the beginning, because you're just going to change the positioning of it and then be able to move it around. So I'm going to just drop this down here. So this is going to be the front portion of the chip bag. So just to show you, let me bring the picture piece back up. So basically, we've just designed the front portion of the chip bag. So now we need to design the two back sides. Now, with this, you know, if you want to write some words going across the bottom, you know, where the margins are for the black squares, you can put words in there. You can put words going across the picture itself, right? So you can write something, you can write her name, you can put 2022, whatever you like to put. I just want to keep it kind of clean cut, right? So that it basically shows her. So that's why I'm leaving mine this way. But please feel free to do yours exactly how you want it or how your client wants it. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on my left side here. Okay, and I'm going to bring in a barcode, because you know how on the back of the chips, you'll have the barcode that shows it. You'll have nutritional facts, all kinds of things. So I did have nutritional facts that I created in Canva that talks about the graduation. You can Google all types of nutritional facts. People have already created things out there for you to use. So you can Google for birthdays, anniversaries, and all you type is birthday nutritional fact label, right? Anniversary nutritional facts label. I didn't Google it for graduation, but I'm quite sure there's one that's already out there created. Otherwise, you can bring in a graduation one, or excuse me, a birthday one, and manipulate that, right? So go into like Canva, or haven't tried it in Word, but you could do it in like Canva or Silhouette Studio, and you can manipulate the wording, just change it around, or you can create your own. So first thing first, I'm going to go to Insert, back to my pictures, this device, and find where I have it, and it's going to be under my chip bag. So see here, I have a birthday girl one. I have a happy birthday one for the barcode, but those are not the ones that I want. So I'm going to scroll down here. I first want this, just a regular barcode, okay? And I'm going to insert that. So again, come to the picture, bring it to the front, resize it. Okay, now I'm going to bring this down to the bottom, because normally that's where you'll see it, on the bottom of the chip bag. So I'm just kind of eye level it to make sure from left to right, the spacing is good. Okay, so I have it there. Okay, it's coming together pretty good. So I will go back to Insert, Pictures, this device, and I'm going to come down to look for my graduation nutrition facts. And here it is. We're going to bring it to the front. Now be able to move it around. So one thing that I did on her, and let me just make sure the spacing is good. And what I'm doing is trying to make sure from this side and what's left over on this side is pretty centered, okay? Okay. And then I just like to click off of the picture itself just to see what it looks like from here. And it looks pretty good. So you probably can't see what I have on the nutritional fact. Let me try and make it a little larger so that you can see here. But I talk about, you know, graduated at 100%. She has a BS in psychology, you know, 100%. Excuse me, happiness, celebration, family and friends, saturated smiles, surprises, gifts, memories. Okay. So this is how my graduation nutrition facts is for her. You can make yours however it is that you want it. I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit more so that I can see better when trying to design the rest of the paper here. So now I'm gonna do the right side here of the screen. All I'm going to do now is I want to put her name up here, and then I'm going to put another picture of her down on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my picture first. This is the one that I want to use. It has removed the background. I'm going to come in here and bring it to the front. Okay, and then just drag it over here to the bottom. Click off to see what kind of position it is. And I'm gonna start making it just a little larger, okay? And then bring it over just a bit. Okay, so now I want to write her name, okay? So now I've been having issues with inserting text boxes. It's trying to insert it on the top bridge here, inserting it in here, not allowing me to move it the right way. And then when I do try and move it, it's taking a piece of the background with it. So the easiest way that I do it is, and if you're very proficient in Word, you probably know a better way. But all I'm going to do is I'm on the insert tab, okay? I'm coming over here. So normally I would insert a text box. That's just, like I said, it's just not working right for me. So I'm gonna insert here word art. Excuse me. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select here and just select the very first A, okay? Then I'm gonna move my box over here so I can start typing my text in here. So therefore, it's not doing anything to the top of, I'm just trying to move it to make sure I got everything out. So therefore, it's not doing anything to my top bar here, the bottom, or putting it in over here. It's just been acting really crazy lately. So I'm just gonna type in her name. Oops. Enter. Okay. Let me make box a little longer. That's what it was doing. Okay. Make it wider because I want her full name in there. And then enter, and she graduated 2021. Okay. So I can center it to make sure everything appears like it should on that side, centered. I could go back in here and change the font if I wanted to, or change the color of the font, but I'm just gonna leave it black because it still will stand out on the chip bag. So this is it for my chip bag. Again, you can create it any kind of way you want to, but remember, when we first created the template, we saved that as the master template. And right now it says up here, master chip bag template. I need to save this so I don't lose my work. And also I'm ready to print. So I'm gonna go ahead and do file, save as, okay? We know it's in my master chip bag template. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is change this to say Keisha chip bag template. It will still go into my document folder of templates, but this is just the title of it because I do not want to overwrite that template that I already created. I want to be able to use it again, okay? So at this point, we'd be ready to print. So of course you go to File, Print, select your print or your printer, and then select Print. Okay. So for me, I like to work from blank slates, and I like to keep my my different templates separate. You could insert, like, go ahead and hit Control Enter to go down further to have another page, right? So that you can now start to create your candy bar wrapper. But I like to title my templates. I want a specific template just for candy bar wrapper. I want one specifically for chip bag, one for the water bottle label. Okay, so I'm going to do another document. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this because I was touching it down here on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new page, a new document. And so now I am going to create my candy bar template. So we will insert 3 shapes for the candy bar, okay? And then I'll bring the candy bar back on so you can see it and kind of understand why we're doing this. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our inserting shapes. We'll come up to the very top here, insert shapes. And again, the first rectangle. Okay, so for this first rectangle, I'm going to come over here and make the height 0.75. And the width of the candy bar is 6.75. So what you would end up doing is taking your measurement stick, right, or ruler or something, and measuring your candy bar from left to right. And then if you turn it over on the back of the candy bar, you know, the candy bars normally have like a little flap that lifts up and just a little piece of white that's underneath it, right? So that little piece of white on the back of the candy bar, if you have a Hershey's bar, is really this section, which is the 0.75. Okay, we're gonna add 2 more sections. So it'll be the front piece and the other part of the back flap. So this right here is a part of the back flap. Now, while I'm here, I'm gonna make sure that it's up to the front, right? So I'm gonna put in front of text. And I wanna change my color. I'm gonna make this candy bar red, okay? So I'm gonna make that red. So now I'm gonna do it again. Insert shapes and a rectangle. I'm gonna draw another one, okay, partially. I'm now gonna make this one 2.5 in height and then still 6.75 in width. Okay, now with this one, I too want to make this red. So first I'm gonna make sure my text comes up front. So it helps with the pictures and being able to move the pictures around. And my shape fill, I'm not gonna fill it right now with the red or anything like that because I'm gonna end up bringing in that sparkly background is what I want to use. So I'm just bringing this up just a little bit so that it can meet, right, and not have any gap. Okay, now the very last one that I'm going to insert, again, the shape and rectangle. I'll start drawing it right here. This is going to be 2.0 by 6.75, okay? All right, so first thing first, I will make sure that it has in front of text selected. I want to change my color to that red so that it matches. So at the top here is where I selected the shape fill, okay? And then that allows me to change the color. So now I'm just gonna reposition this to where it all is attached. Okay, so now I wanna bring my sparkly background back in here. So I'm gonna go back to pictures, insert pictures, this device, and I want this here, and I'm gonna select insert. Okay, and we know it went to the back, right? So one thing, I want to make sure I bring it to the front. Now, all I'm going to do is just resize and kind of start to bring it down some. So I'm just gonna bring this up to where it's right about there at the edge. and then just bring this over. Okay, so, and then I can see a little bit of blue. So I'm just gonna come up just a little bit. Okay, so this is my template for my candy bar. So the first thing I'm gonna do is do File, Save As. And I'm gonna title this Master Candy Bar Template. Okay, and save. Now, when you need to use it again, it's gonna open up red. You just come up in here, change your colors, right? So you have your layout, and then you can also change your fill color. Okay, you can delete this piece out, bring in a different image, whatever kind of background you want for the front part of your candy bar. And the same thing with the bottom portion, but at least you have your template. So now I'm just gonna bring over 3 pictures: the balloons, the BU image, and her graduation that shows her in the cap and gown. So I'm going to come back over here to insert pictures, this device, go down and search for the balloons. And again, I'm going to select the one that says remove. Okay, I'm going to bring it to the front, and then I'm going to resize. And then as I bring in the other 2 pictures, I can continuously resize it to get it how I want it to be. Okay, so I think I'm gonna bring that up just a bit more. Okay, now I'm gonna bring in her graduation picture and then her, the BU. So the graduation picture that I want to use is further down here, and here it is. So I'm gonna insert this one, bring it to the front, and now just make it a little smaller. And then bring it on in here. Now I can resize once I get it in this area. Okay. Click out so I can see how it's looking. Okay, it's looking pretty good. And I can even bring the balloons down a little longer if I wanted to. Okay. So I have my balloons and I have her picture. Now I want to get the BU in over here. And I hit save by mistake. So of course it has saved on top of my master candy bar template. That's okay, because you can go in and delete, when you want to reuse it. Okay, my mouse was just up too far. I wanted to go to insert pictures from this device, and I want to bring in the BU. Oh, that's going to be my other folder, in the grab box folder. Okay, and I want the one that has the background removed. I'm going to then bring it to the front. Okay, and then just zoom out a bit and start placing it where I want it to go. So I'm going to see. So do I want to bring it down a little bit more? I'll bring this down some. So it's kind of like a little even with the balloon, the bottom of the balloon here. I can also increase it, to bring it up some. I'll just bring that down just a tad bit. Okay. So this is how I want her candy bar wrapper to look. And again, I could insert word text here and type in her name. On the back here, I could bring in, if I wanted to, the nutritional graduation image again and another barcode. But on this one, I'm just going to leave it plain. Okay, you can do whatever you like to do with yours. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save this as, because I do want to rename it to Keisha Candy Bar Template. Okay, and save it. Okay, so at this point, again, you can go up and print your image, and then we'll have it printed and ready for to use it. So again, you'll go to File and then Print. and then you select your printer and then print it, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do, and because that's finished, that's done. So you know what I'm going to do is do File, New Document. Because now I want to create the water bottle label. So you know with the water bottle, and I'm going to bring the picture back on, you will need to measure your water bottle label. So you will still have the store label on it, or you may have peeled it off by now. But all you would do is take your measuring tape and go around the entire bottle where the label was, okay? And you want to measure out the size. So going across for the width, so it's all the way around. And then you will also measure going from top to bottom, because you want to just replace that label. So you'll go from where your store label was on, right? If it's Dasani or whatever kind of water it is. So from the top of that label to the bottom of it. So then what we're going to do is insert another rectangle and then size it. So for my water bottle, and let me just move this over. My water bottle size is 1.5 inches in height and then 8.25 around, okay? So I'm gonna come up here to insert shapes, rectangles, start drawing a box, okay? I can either expand it out to my true sizes or just come back over here to the top right corner here. I'm gonna make this 1.5 in height, and I said it was 8.25 around. You can put a little cushion on there and give it a little bit more, just to make sure that everything gets in, right? So that it's enough coverage going all the way around the bottle. And I say this because I have had some of the measurements when I work in Silhouette Design Space, or even Cricut Design Space. Sometimes I'll put my measurements in that is exact to what the item is, and it prints it out shorter. So I normally try and give a little bit of a cushion. Now for the height of this, I truly did 1.5. Now around the width of it, my bottle was probably 8.15 or so, but I'm just giving myself a cushion because I know what has happened to me before, okay? And that's why I selected 8.25. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the layout to make this landscape size, just so I can have my image in here that I can really work with and see good, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure, again, always do in front of text when you're creating these. I'm gonna also do my color, or do I want to do the sparkle effect? I think what I will do, let's see, on the old bottle, I did the plain. Okay, I'm gonna do the sparkle. So I'm gonna bring in that sparkle again. So I'm gonna insert the picture of that background sparkle. That is in the chip bag folder, and it's right here. Select okay. All right, so first I'm just gonna start changing the size, okay? And then I'm going to change this to where it is 1.5 in height and 8.25. And I also need to bring this to the front, okay? And I'm just gonna move it on top of this blue box. I need to make sure that it's all covered. Oh, I see here it went down to 1.41, so it's 1.5. Okay, so it covers my box. So now all I'm going to do is bring in the pictures and place them around on the water bottle. So here you can put their names on it, or, you know, insert a text box and key names or whatever you like. I'm just gonna bring in 3 pictures again. So the balloons, her cap and gown picture, and the BU, okay? Let's try and keep it all synced with what I've done before. So here is the remove. I'm gonna bring those to the front. Oops. Okay, and then just resize. And what I'm actually going to end up doing, I'm going to start with the balloon. Then I'm going to bring in her BU. Then I'll have her picture right about there. Then I'll do another BU about here, and then another balloon toward the end. Okay, so you can see the pattern. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go ahead and copy and paste and drag that over. Okay, so I know I want it to be in line right about over in here. I think it pretty much matches. Go up just a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over here, insert, bring in the BU. Oh, that's going to be in my grab box folder. Okay, I need to bring it to the front and resize it. And then I'll probably resize it a little bit more once I bring in her picture. I may need to, and then may not. I may have it just right. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste it so I can move it over to the other side. Okay. Which I don't think I'm going to really have to resize anything. I might have it right on the money today. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and bring in her picture. So insert pictures, this device, select the folder. I'm going to go back to the chips bag folder and find her cap and gown, insert it, bring it to the front, and resize it. And then just move it in here because I want it about right in the center portion. So I'm going to resize that some more. So I want to make sure I get that cap in there. It doesn't get cut off. So there. So this is going to be the label for the water bottle. And this is the one that we will actually print on sticker paper. Okay. The other two that you printed would have been on regular paper. So if you've purchased the premium copier paper, or you're just using the copier paper that you have, right? So at this point, you can copy all of this, paste it, and put at least 4 more. So one can go there, 1, 2, 3. You should be able to get 4 more, if not just 3, because you could probably move this one up a little bit up top. Because you want to make sure you use all of your paper on that page, right? So that you're not wasting paper also. But I'm just going to print this one out because I can cut the sticker paper and use it for something else as well. So at this point, you'll go ahead and do File Save. And I think too, when we created the template, I don't think we saved it before. Yeah, we didn't save it. I just kept going. But you make sure you get in the habit of saving your templates for your master template so that it's empty, right? It may have color in it, but you can always change your colors, but at least you have your format there. Otherwise, you have to bring up one of your old ones, right? So if I needed to do this again, I just have to bring up this document that I did for Keisha's and then change it around for somebody else's, right? Because I did not save the master template. So I'm going to list this one as Keisha's water bottle template. Okay, and save it. So at this point, you'll go ahead to File and print it off. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and pause. And I'll go ahead and collect my print job for the ones that I have printed. And then I'll meet you back here on the second video in just a few seconds. And we will continue with completing the putting everything together, right? Your chip bag, your water bottle, and your candy bar. So we'll be back in just a second.